Hey guys, Joe Tunney here at Infinity of Kirkland in Kirkland, Washington, just outside of Seattle. And as a used car manager, obviously I have access to pretty much every kind of car there is in the world. And unfortunately, I probably go through cars much more than is a responsible adult should. But when it comes to my own hard-earned money, obviously I want as much bang for my buck as I can possibly get. And I think nothing represents bang for your buck like these 2007 Mercedes GL450s. For under 25 grand, you can get pretty much the nicest one in town, and the nicest GL450 represents maybe the nicest sport utility that there is on the market. It has $60,000, $70,000 prestige and panache, yet it just doesn't cost all that much money. And so yes, one of my two cars actually is a 2007 GL450 that I absolutely adore. This one was just traded in, so it hasn't been detailed or anything like that. Manager here at Microsoft, which is right next to us here at Infinity of Kirkland, traded it in on a new QX80 sport utility. And let's take a look at this particular GL450. It's actually very, very well equipped. And so the 19-inch wheels, there is a 1-inch larger wheel that's available on the GL series. I'm a big fan of the 19-inch only because it's a soft riding car. It's a very luxurious and opulent car, and I like the feel of the 19-inch wheel. It's a little bit more air in the tire, means a little less bone jarring than say the big wheel would be. And of course, xenon headlamps. This one has the step-up bar on the side, which is a nice touch that I actually wish I had on my own car. And then navigation. It has a really nice Harman Kardon sound, Harman Kardon stereo system. And my other car is a 7 Series BMW, which has a wonderful stereo system, but I prefer the Harman Kardon even to it. On my days off, I drive my wife's GL pretty much every chance I get, just because I just love the sound from the sound system in this car. If we take a look in the back, this one has the theater package, and so the integrated into the rear headrest. So this is a factory DVD. A lot of times you'll see these with kind of aftermarket. I am not a fan at all of aftermarket anything in a car, alarms, DVDs. The reason is you don't know who installed them and if they had any clue what they were doing. And so many people are always looking for the least expensive variable of everything. So they go on their Sunday mailer or whatever and find the absolute cheapest DVD player in the world that they can possibly find. And the sacrifice that you make is, did they wire the wrong wires? Did they do whatever? And then you're constantly chasing dead batteries, check engine lights, and weird electronic gremlins that you would never otherwise have to deal with. Just stick with the factory components. Don't do custom stuff, especially when it comes to electronics on any vehicle. Now, the GL450, silly as it is, in 2007 actually doesn't have a rear view camera. Because Mercedes uses proprietary fiber optics technology, if you do want to add a rear view camera to these, you can only add one kind, Mercedes-Benz. And so a lot of times you'll see on car toys, hey, I can get a rear view camera for like $100 or something like that. It's closer to $1,000 actually on the GL series, on any Mercedes that is. Third row seat. Now, the way we use ours, we have 3 boys, and it's wide enough inside that we can put all 3 of them in the middle row seat, but it's spacious enough where even in the third row seat, they have plenty of legroom, and then it also has extra storage in the back. Parking sensors as well. Come take a look around the passenger side here. Looks great inside, especially for it being just traded in. One bugaboo on these GLs, oftentimes you'll see this trim area right here gets a little bit of sunburn on it. I think this is the only piece that has that look, but it's just a known item on GLs. Come take a look inside. Now, certainly a very classy vehicle. This one again loaded with panorama moonroof, so it has a front roof in the front, a moonroof in the front and then a moonroof in the back as well. It has a separate climate control as well for people in the back seat, distinctive from ones in the front seat. And then it has 335 horsepower, so it's big, it's long, it's smooth riding, but it's also very fast. 335 horsepower is nothing to sneeze at. This car hustles like a sports car. It's actually quite quick, and then it handles really well. Even though it's a larger sport utility, it's not particularly tall above the ground. It has great clearance for going over sidewalks or loose terrain if you want to take it off-road. It's fantastic for going over the pass if you're a family that likes to ski. I mean, this is as good as it gets, but it's not so tall that it's real wallowy around turns. Where we live on a hill, and there's a lot of windy roads there, and so a big vehicle like this can be a bit ponderous if it sits too tall. The GL is kind of the perfect balance between car, truck, sport utility, speed, performance, luxury, quality. I mean, it just has all the variables without being too big, without being too tall. We actually had an Infiniti QX56 before we had our GL, and I love that vehicle, but as well as it handles, and it handles awfully well, I think the GL actually has it beat by just a little tiny bit. Again, great navigation, great stereo. This one has it all. It has 19 service records on the Perfect Carfax, all done at the Mercedes dealer as well. So it's been perfectly maintained since day one. But if you'd like to see a copy of the Carfax or our shop report or anything at all that helps you make a more informed decision, please don't hesitate to give me a call anytime. My name's Joe Tunney. I'm the sales manager here at Infiniti of Kirkland. You can reach me directly at 425-821-1600 or just drop me an email at joet@infinitiofkirkland.com.